Hello and welcome to a digital essay titled, What's All the Buzz About with Chat GPT? AI is not new. This is an essay for the Masters in Digital Education at Edinburgh University. Please see the description for timestamps, reference list for content and visuals, and a bibliography that has informed this essay.
Hi, my name is Olivia Sills. This digital essay will explore artificial intelligence or AI within the further education sector here in the UK. Drawing upon the latest research throughout, I will be screen sharing showcasing a range of AI tools, infographics, frameworks and models to successfully use AI within education. Since its launch in November 2022, Chat GPT by OpenAI, as Duerfet et al. 2023 highlighted that Chat GPT attracted more than 1 million users in the first 5 days after its launch. In a BBC interview with Baroness Martha Lane Fox, she warned against the recent hysteria over Chat GPT and other AI tools and called for more sensible conversations. Whereas another article in BBC posted only a few days before Martha's interview that Italy's government had banned chat over privacy concerns. A prominent researcher, Luca et al. 2016, said that AI is a Pandora's box with dangerous consequences. So let's ask ChatGPT, what is artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence is the development of computer systems that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as recognition speech, understanding natural language, making decisions, and solving problems. Let's go further to ask it something a bit more specific about the sector we are looking at today. So what is artificial intelligence, or rather when was artificial intelligence first used in education? So it was actually used back in the 1980s when computer-based educational programs were first introduced. They're designed for personalised learning, and that's something that we continue to talk about throughout the rest of this YouTube clip. What is generative AI? This infographic, actually produced by a robot and a chat alongside, gives us a visual of what is generative AI. And it is a type of artificial intelligence that uses machine learning algorithms to create new and original content like images, videos, text and audio. We can see here it has 3 stages. We have that forming of the database itself. We then have an input of a prompt and then the generating of the content as the output. Generative AI and algorithms, as Duerfet et al. 2023 suggests, that reports indicate that chatbots were trained on large datasets as large as 40 gigabytes in size from text on the internet, equivalent to 133 million pages of text, which would take a human approximately 2,200 years to read. Kitchen 2017 argues that the world we now live in within algorithms adjudicate more and more momentous decisions in our lives. These algorithms and subsequent AI are driven by vast droves of data and are the new powerhouses in our society. Algorithms will perhaps make some of the largest and most monumentous decisions in our lives, like choosing a partner. Chowdhury et al. 2022 emphasised that AI is hugely impacting the way we learn, stay healthy, cure disease, spend our money, maintain order in our society, and even make decisions. However, this infiltration of AI in our daily lives has also magnified the potential risks. Dan Fitzpatrick, a prominent educator and researcher of AI within education, has suggested that AI can provide personalised and adaptive learning experiences for students of all abilities, paving the way for a more inclusive and equitable education system. He goes further and quoted Brian Tracy, who said, "The fear is the enemy of innovation and development, and the greatest barrier to progress is the reluctancy to take risks." He goes further in quite a bold statement to say that we are currently in an AI revolution. A revolution suggests a shift away from an old and in with the new. However, AI will become entangled with our current practices, improving and enhancing pedagogy. Williamsons et al. 2023 suggested that the education sector is currently being washed by waves of development in AI, datafication, machine learning and automation, which are already exerting powers, raising ethical conundrums and causing a rather large buzz. They go further to caution the sector that to a degree, platformization is occurring, with institutions becoming over-reliant on corporate infrastructure to carry out many tasks, such as pedagogical activities, information management, behaviour and attendance tracking, assessment, and in addition to the web of technological stack that includes your cloud management facilities, data storage and analytics, and so forth. Bothcourt et al. 2023 journal paper suggests that AI is already being adopted across a range of educational practices for predicting learner outcomes and behaviours like dropout, tailoring learner experience, providing an adaptive learning environment, improving academic performance, intelligent tutoring systems, and enhancing learner experiences. But let's go back a little bit. Do you remember this little wizard helping you with your digital assistants in Microsoft? And these other tools, which we can see here in this video. Although these originated in the 1960s with computer programs, modern-day chatbots leverage natural language processing and machine learning techniques to analyze and understand text and audio data, enabling them to interact and respond more quickly and accurately to virtual conversations with human users. Selwyn 2022 highlighted a 2019 audit of over 2,800 AI startups in Europe, and he judged that only 2/5 of these firms would be making no meaningful use of artificial intelligence in their products. JISC 2021 report into AI in tertiary education highlighted some of the key tools from Squirrel AI, which was providing AI-driven learning at scale. Siri and Cortana are general speech assistants, and chatbots are also used across many different domains. Bolton College here, as we can see, developed Ada chatbot. Doherty et al. 2023 states that in parallel to the ongoing developments of AI algorithms, there is a rise in chatbots. Chatbots traditionally use natural language processing to respond to queries raised by the users while mapping it to the best possible response sets available in the system. In order to provide real-time feedback to customers, chatbots have adopted language models along with deep learning while addressing natural language processing problems. The recent launch of OpenAI's Chat GPT significantly extends the capabilities of chatbots in the integration of deep learning and language models based on generative pre-trained transformer GPT architecture. However, bots can go a little AWOL, let's say. Doherty et al. 2023 highlighted when Microsoft's Taybot, which began to post offensive content on social media when it was released on Twitter in 2016. And this article further highlights the Taybots and what the issues were. Fitzpatrick 2023 also highlighted how Erica, a chatbot for Bank of America, helps customers with their banking needs. So these tools are already enmeshed into our educational practices and our extended lives. Therefore, AI is not necessarily a new thing. Let's take a look at some other AI integrations. Here in Notion, where I actually keep and track all of my readings and comments. So let's open up this one here, and let's just scroll down. And if we highlight some of the text, we can ask AI to improve the writing, and it will link with Chat GPT or other algorithms in order to suggest better ways to reply, or kind of rephrase it. So we can replace this action. We can also, let's highlight some further text. We can also ask the AI to fix any spelling and grammar, make it a bit shorter or make it longer. We can also change the tone. So at the moment we've got professional, casual, straightforward, confident or friendly. Let's make this some friendly text. And here we go. We have some nice, more bullet pointed, we could say, friendly, maybe user-friendly text. We'll now have a little look at read and write. This is a common tool used across education. And as we see on my screen, this is integrated within a Chrome extension. This is a previous essay, and if we highlight some text, we have different options in order for it to read it out to us, which is using natural language processing. We can listen to it in audio. We can also type to talk if we wish. So we can also type to talk. We can highlight different elements. There is a range of different tools within Read and Write in order to have more accessibility features for our learners. The final feature within this section we're going to look at is the Pro Writing Aid. Something similar to Grammarly here. It can looks at your structure analysis, gives you clarity on improvements, readability improvements, and paraphrasing recommendations. So as a Chrome extension, similar to the Read and Write, it sits up here, and we can see that these are highlighted. This one here is giving me a rephrase, and this is where chat and other natural language processing systems have been used to make suggestions. We also have other ones as we go through, some highlighting where we need the premium account. However, you can see where the natural language processing is being used. So, Chat, what are you? Chat is a generative pre-trained transformer launched by OpenAI on the 30th of November 2022. As Arif et al. In 2023 stated, it was a very bold move to allow the public to experiment with an open platform as this. GDP is an AI model that adopts supervised and reinforcement learning techniques to understand and model human and non-human language. Rosopoulos 2023 stated that GDPs are a type of large language model that uses deep learning to train and improve their output. They are trained on large, copious amounts of data, such as text and images obtained from the internet, and identify patterns that enable them to suggest the appropriate words or phrases to generate relevant images in response to the user's questions. GDP3 powers a range of apps such as DALL-E, in which generates images from text. Bocus et al. 2023 suggested that ChatGPT already plays a huge part in internet searching. For example, it's already integrated within Bing and other writing softwares, as already explored the Pro Writing Aid. ChatGPT stimulates follow-up questions through a sustained dialogue, which creates a different experience compared to a search engine, as we can see on the screen now. Search engines typically don't retain evolving histories of an answer, but return a list of discrete links to responses based on the rankings of specific keywords used in the search terms. ChatGPT, on the other hand, offers follow-up questions to develop and expand on answers to respond to challenges proposed by the questioner. So let's ask it another question. So Debugging et al. 2023 suggests 4 key points. Firstly, these often require human intelligence to formulate the actual prompt or interesting question. Secondly, chat can only provide answers based on previous documented knowledge that is gained and harvested from across the internet. Thirdly, it requires human intelligence to then generate the knowledge that can be used to train the ChatGPT model. And then finally, conducting research still requires human intelligence, as chat is not capable of doing this yet. Let's look at some of the impacts that chat has on the education sector. Whilst we're going to be looking over the Twitter latest ChatGPT tags. Fitzpatrick 2023 comments that one of the most spoken fears in education at the moment is students cheating. Rising concern is that students will eventually lose their ability to produce original ideas and not be able to present or prosper any strong, firm arguments. Harlan Paffret in 1990 proposed a formulation, and this has been reformulated by Rosopoulos in 2023. They discussed 3 key areas: appropriation, evoking personal thought, and integration. So if we're looking at ChatGPT with this model, appropriation, they believe that learning is enhanced when it is made one's own. With ChatGPT, students can ask questions in their own words and receive instant response and feedback. This, to some extent, is making it their own. They're then invoking that personal thought through conversations, questioning, scaffolding, and promoting awareness and thought. Integration is the ability to respond to the follow-up questions that allow students to challenge and even clarify information. Bozak et al. 2023 discusses how blocking tools like Chat GPT, restricting it or threatening students with a punishment for its use will just not solve the problem. It actually causes more issues. Furthermore, it will create contention, increase transitional distance, and even result in lack of trust. They do go further to discuss how it can be used through personalised learning, inclusive curriculum, enhanced collaboration and cooperation, automated assessment, improved accessibility, and it's available 24/7. They also then touch upon some of the challenges with this through algorithmic bias, reliability, inequality, lack of creativity, critical thinking, manipulated AI models or manipulation of AI training, ignorance, teacher replacement, and dependence on these technologies. Opportunities and challenges coexist. Perhaps the question is not whether AI should be introduced into education, but rather how, when, by who, and for what purpose AI should be used in education. Duvetti et al. 2023 further describes some of those threats posed by chat, including black box algorithms, discriminations and bias, and copyright infringements, plagiarism. The media is riddled with these issues. Hence, it's essential for organisations and teachers to understand, manage and mitigate the risks of adopting these AI tools. Chowdhury et al. 2022 have called for a transparency index framework for AI within education. Using AI requires prompt engineering or prompt craft, and the term coined to describe the phrase or sentences used to gain a response from an AI bot. As Fitzpatrick 2023 suggests, the answer is only as good as your prompt. Greg Brockman, co-founder of OpenAI, said, "Prompt engineering is the art of communicating eloquently to an AI." I found that quote particularly poignant. So Fitzpatrick 2023 has devised several frameworks in order to support the prompt engineering process. Firstly, we need to look at which generative AI platform is most suited for you, and these categories here in this infographic are particularly helpful. So text to image, text to code, or text to text. So Chat GPT is a text to text, which is where we're going to particularly look for that prompt crafting, but prompt crafting applies throughout all of these tools. So we're looking at this PrEP framework here. So PrEP stands for prompt, so introduce the question with a prompt. 2, give it a role or a voice. 3, be explicit in your instructions. And 4, give it the parameters. Give the parameters a set of answers. Once you have considered your prompt, you then need to be mindful of the tone, the language, the word length, the number of paragraphs, the sentiment, the format, the reading age group. You need to ensure that you have crafted your well-rounded response in order to generate a sufficient answer. In order to move then beyond the PrEP model, we would then hopefully generate an answer and look towards the EDIT framework. This is an extension of the PrEP and is designed to help evaluate generative outputs in terms of analysing accuracy, bias, and finding those sources. So EDIT stands for evaluate, which is where you evaluate your AI output, content for language, facts, and structure. Determine the accuracy and corroborate with the sources. Identify the biases and misinformation output. And transform the content to reflect adjustments and new findings. There's further information on this infographic here. You can then look further to a final form, which is the EDIT matrix, which gives you further in-depth. When you're using this with your learners, for example, you can imagine that your higher order learners might consider the higher end of this matrix contents down here and be able to undertake EDIT framework at every single level. The final framework, and you could say worksheet, which is available from the AI Classroom book, is the worksheets for staff and students. And this allows those prompts, those EDIT frameworks that we've just been discussing. It allows your learners to fully assess whether that information is accurate enough. Other research have suggested asking students to rate and comment on ChatGPT's answers, or to compare chat-generated responses to an actual research paper with the original paper as a good one for critical thinking skills. Most importantly, we need to teach students how to work with AI and chatbots and prepare them for the future of work. Looking at all 2016 said there is already a role for technology when it comes to helping learners to develop that growth mindset. Indeed, Carol Stoeck's team have developed Brainology, a piece of software to provide support and content for promoting a growth mindset. However, some of these AI tools and these processes and frameworks are surrounding them will now enable that growth mindset to further develop. In conclusion, Boskert et al. 2023 said that beyond assessment and evaluation are other initial uses. There is a need to recalibrate teaching and learning practices to better respond to the needs of our changing world. Innovation has the potential to result in and require knowledge and ontological innovation. This can include new and different ways of knowing, understanding, being, and doing in educational spaces. They go further to state that education is of humans and by humans and is for humans. It is a purely human transaction. As Costello 2023 predicts, that we will have more teachers in the classroom in the future, and they will be the need to be orchestras of sophisticated AI assemblages as education and AI become enmeshed. At a recent BET UK conference in London, the discussions around AI were hotly awaited, with hundreds of educators not being able to get a seat at the talks. Critics like Costello 2023 raises an interesting point that ChatGPT and Google's version Bard is a more complex version of a Google search with a fancy type cipher reply. Yet its outputs are uncannily similar to that of a human, hence all the buzz. Opportunities and challenges coexist. Perhaps the question is not whether AI should be introduced into education, but rather how, when, by whom, and what is the real purpose of AI within the education. Usher et al. 2020 said that AI isn't a magic tool. It's not a silver bullet. It won't solve a single social change because real AI is just a collective name for an array of computer tools to help us or even automate intelligent actions. Luckin et al. 2016 said we need to look towards a future where extraordinary AI tools support teachers in meeting the needs of all our learners. With the opening of accessibility features within the AI tools, we can potentially see a better future. We welcome our new AI tools with caution and with the frameworks surrounding them to ensure an effective use. Thank you.